ERL FG Series returns to Nigeria with Zaka Hidenko is on pole from Gabriela Barkton and Moses Lima. Landway Zakaholi starts fourth from Bastian Tan and Carlos Masvidis. Renus Curlis is 7th from Juan Lobos and Casanova Cornwell. Top 10 star for Junior Motorsports. Thomas Holt starts 11th from Ben Allen and Renus Basti, then Takayoshi Nishimoto, Gap Stapping, K-Maker, Spiker, Hachai Cilia and Eddie Hart. One last time out, your teammate Cal Sang plays alongside, and it's his sister Tam, Sri Harashwa, Silky, and the Gorillas. The 8th round of the ERL FG Series takes us to Nigeria, with Kondo Racing returning to the pole. All 5 lights go on. And we are underway in Abuja, and it's a great start there from Gabriela Barkton once again, but not the best second phase for the number 15, almost caught by Moises Lima. We go on board with the 15 as they come through the opening chicane. Star already with a time penalty. Lima now going side by side with the Red Bull driver to try and keep it blue up front, which Hidenko surely is. Lima going side by side and past Gabriela Barkton for all of 0.2 of a second. The 15 flying past in the final stages of this section of the track. That 2 car having to regroup and try and make the pass down into 10. I think he might be able to do it though. Star, the only man with a time penalty as they barrel down into the long turn number 10, but out in front, Hidenko holds on to lead. His teammate Bastian Tan trying to get past Moises Lima. It's going to be weird when we return to Nigeria in the Formula E series because, of course, it's going to be great to have 2 Nigerian drivers on the grid, but this is going to be the most drivers with African heritage that we'll see in Formula E. That's 3, of course, for Sparks YT15 joining the grid. Staying on board of Bastian, though, as he's in the slipstream of Moises Lima. He looks to the outside. He's going to get the attack mode. On the next lap, he's using attack charge. Gets around the outside of the hyperdrive man and up into 3rd place. That 2 car, though, certainly losing quite a bit of pace in the back half of the lap. He might have to try and improve himself with that, because that opening sector is where this hyperdrive advanced car really sings as we're on to lap 2. And the Barktons are losing time to Zaka Hidenko, the man who won the first race of the championship, leads here in race 8. Star for Junior Motorsports. Is that wing damage? Yes, it is. So front wing damage for Star in that 9 car. Didn't catch that on lap 1. Must have run into the bet of potentially Hachai Cilia. Just taking a look at the Andalays, neither of them having a particularly notable start. If anything, Tam has had quite the poor start, dropping down to 22nd place. Nick K-Maker going side by side with Star and getting the pass almost done, but with the outside line it's not easy to get through. Casanova Cornwell was with Star when that front wing was broken, but doesn't seem to have any damage. It's very interesting to see most of the pack going line astern. We are trying to find whomever caused that piece of contact, and it seems like it was Juan Villalobos because he's got a bit of damage to his car, at least from what we can gather on the steering wheel. But potentially could have been a lot worse for both drivers involved. Rounding the final corner, we could see some drivers coming to the pits. Yes, race leaders both into pit lane. That's Hidenko and Barkton. Don't know if anyone else is going to follow him through. Renus Curlis taking the fastest lap as we go on board with Bastian Tan. Is trying to make the lunge into turn 1. He had an absolute stormer of a season 17 in Formula E. And now in the FG Series, he's looking for victory. Holding it side by side with Moises Lima. 24 versus the 2. Going through the entirety of Sector 1, line astern. But Bastian Tan taking the lead here in Nigeria. Moises Lima, though, not done yet. Gets back past using some attack charge. That is some brilliant stuff from the Italian to move up into the lead. Looking to Thomas Holtz. Came into this race as part of the title battle. Any point helps when you're in that sort of situation. Very interesting to note, Star comes out of the pits 30 seconds off of the lead, 31 seconds off the lead, but has gotten that front wing fixed up, so that is good news if you're a Junior Motorsports fan. If you're an ERL fan, then consider subscribing to the channel. It would not only help me out quite a bit, but considering that we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers and potentially even monetization, that would help me out personally quite a bit. Even so, every view helps. Vasti and Tan trying to fly around the outside, coming through the final corner, doesn't quite work out. Then Linus Stern heading down to pit road, and the 24 just letting the 2 go by. That is some sportsmanship right there. Great stuff from Bastian to just give Moises that little bit of a hand. Could have been a lot worse, because it could have been contact, obviously. And hey, this team gave him a very quick pit stop. He's coming out in front of Moises either way, who's had to brake there. Everyone who's come through pit lane. Juan Villalobos comes out in 17th. Nice man up the pack who's coming to the pits is still Zakar Hiddenko, but now Moises Lima, not Moises Lima, Gabriel Barton, the man we run on board with, is right behind him and actually looked to try and go side by side. Couldn't get anywhere near. Looking back there with the 15. And he gets past Tam Andale, who is struggling with her mediums. And Brules hits 1% on a set of soft compound tires. That makes me worry for Nesbesny and Spiker. It's a full car puncture for Spiker and for Andre. As Chaos Andale meets the guys, Hiddenko comes by and it's a puncture also for Million Brules. Cosmas trying to find his way through. There's a big spin behind. That's Bastian Tan out of the race. Bastian Tan out of the Abuja E-Prix. He knows that feeling. And he's out in the Abuja eTrophy. Sorry, that's going to help out the leaders running the final corner. Rainis Kurlis, Landro Takaholi, and Hachai Silly. It's an all-rookie top 3. And they're all going to benefit from this caution period. And a lot of the field's going to be held up by Andre Nesbesny, whether or not there are cautions. But we are green once again here in Nigeria, hopefully for quite a long time. And Brules drops down. Andre Nesbesny, you can see him. Contact there for Ben Allen Lee. You can see that 2311 front wing fly off the track. On board we are with Brules, who should be coming in. That is a very scruffy way to have all of that happen. And Lebogson comes into the pits. So Gabriel Lebogson relinquishes the opportunity. Hiddenko's also in. So this is effectively your running order as many drivers took the opportunity to come in. Rainis Kurlis and Landro Zakaholi are your leaders, but Zakaholi's on a set of hards. So he can go a lot longer into this race, but he can't use any attack mode because he's going to go a lot slower and therefore not be able to close up enough to use attack mode. Thomas Holtz with the fastest opening sector. Look at him, he's up in 3rd, but he's got his teammate Hachai Cilia now going side by side, fighting over 3rd place. Almost a bit of contact between the teammates. What is rule number 1 of racing, guys? We go on board with the number 22. Hachai Cilia, the Italian, trying to get another podium onto the board for what has been a remarkable rookie season. And she moves up into 3rd place. Didn't seem like Thomas wanted to fight that one too hard. He's got quite a bit of damage to his car, actually. He's using attack mode, heading down into the final corner. And Nesbesny's heading off, has he? Andre Nesbesny with front wing damage. Also front wing damage for Eddie Hart. Last time out, race winner with a puncture. It was jubilation for him and for Trackhouse, and it's out of the race! Oh, shit! That's Spiker out as well. And the cautions come out halfway through the race. Many drivers now taking the opportunity to come into the pits, but my oh my. Talk about going airborne. We should fire the guy who's got all the cameras next to the team alumni there, because we are going to be able to see absolutely nothing if we've just got a camera staring at a guy's hand. Sri Harishwar released behind Ben Allen Lee, who just served his time penalty. We're green here in Nigeria. Labogton getting it in front of Nick Haymaker. This is some good stuff for Rainis Curlis as well. He's had a lot of good moments. He joined midway through the season, let me remind you about that. So, with less experience than most everyone else on this field, he leads. Junior Motorsports giving him a very strong strategy, to say the least. And the question is right now, will that strategy hold up to the end? Good Heart Racing, they've struggled all season long, and as Chaos Andley and Zaka Hidenka get past their new Japanese recruit, you just gotta wonder for that team, do they need another season in the oven with their new drivers? Does Casanova need another season to get to grips with the FG Series? 5 laps to go. With Curlis up front, Nishimoto should probably come into the pits at the end of this lap. It's 16% rounding the final corner. Holtz comes down through pit lane. Nishimoto staying out. Cornwell comes into the pit, so it's going to be a 3rd lap on the same set of softs for the Japanese driver, who gets passed by Moises Lima down the straight. That 2 car, at times in this race, it's looked on rails. Not throughout the entirety of it, mind you. Hyperdrive Racing probably banking on a strategy victory today with Landre Zakahole on a set of hards. We don't know if those hard tyres can get to the end. 59% with 5 laps to go. Well, he should be able to skip one of Rainis Curlis' pit stops. Although the team might pull him in with Rainis and try and go for a faster stop than the Latvian driver. Either way, it's the first Albanian race win versus the first Latvian race win. The Baltics are gonna love this. And Lima still on the back of Chaos Andley as it's a full car puncture for the 6 of Takeyoshi Nishimoto, hit by Sri Harishwar. Cautions come out. Yellow flags on lap 7. This is going to be an interesting strategy moment for the boys up front. Curlis rounding the final corner then. He's got the chance to come in and he'll take it. Any easy pit stop that you can take, you got to take it, is seemingly the thought process down at Junior Motorsports and at Hyperdrive Advance. So the 1 car comes in as well. So if it's not a set of hards, it's a set of mediums, so they both have yet another pit stop to make, because Curlis goes on to another set of softs. So Curlis certainly with another stop to make with Zakahole. If he can manage those mediums well, he could potentially get to the end. The Lobos trying to go around the outside of Rainis Curlis. He has the inside coming through the chicane, but he loses out on grip more than anything else. 26% tire wear. So he's got another 1, maybe 2 laps left on them. Depends on how long Manor want to keep him out for. And Tam Andley, come on, Power. We just had a full course caution for a guy who went 1 too many laps. I get it, Tam Andley, he's kind of built different. But at 8%, I don't think she can make it to the end of Sector 2, let alone the end of the lap. Has to let Gab Staffen go by. She's got Casanova Cornwell right behind her. I don't think this is going to go well for the female driver. Penske Media Corp paying some of the bills for Power Motorsport. As they're side by side they go. Coming through the back end. The mid part of the second sector, and you can see the tires are gone already for the 3 car. Tam Andley, yet another puncture, but following a driver. You can see Star coming up to the back. Thankfully dodged, and her own teammate Cosmas Medeiros running into the back of her. Oh my goodness, that's a violent spin. And Andley, the Andley siblings take each other out. Not to dinner, thank God, but out of the race. And the full course cautions come out. Villalobos comes into the pits, taking the opportunity. Hidenko, Lima, both down into pit lane with Nick Haymaker as well. Power Motorsport absolutely fumbling the bag there. There's nothing else I can say to that as we go green on lap 9 of 12. Landre Zakaholi came out of the pits in third, but now is catching a very slow Hachai Celia. Should be a quick and easy pass, considering the absolutely dead hard compound tires on that Impul car. And yes, there goes the number 1, free to chase after Reynes Curlis, who's 3 seconds up the road, but with tires that surely can't get to the end. Zakaholi, I already said this when he came in, I'm not confident that he can make it to the end of the race, but it's mathematically possible. Andre Nesbesny, by the way, not learning from prior examples. You only have 2 laps on your set of softs, no more, no less. This is why I say that Curlis only has one real opportunity to get this race won, and that is to come into the pits again after lap 10. He can't get to lap 11 with his softs, and he sure as heck can't get to lap 12. At the very least, get through it. Nesbesny at the very least on his own, on a bit of an island. Gab Stappen 20 seconds off the lead as Curlis does come down to the pits. Landro Zakaholi, however, stays out to start lap 10 of 12. I believe this is the first laps that the Albanian has led all day. Hachai Celia coming into the pits. Gab Stappen comes down to pit lane. A lot of drivers taking the opportunity then as it's side by side between Villalobos and Holtz. Villalobos gets past as Nesbesny slides. Cosmas Benitez involved in yet another incident. Nesbesny is out of this race. The Moldovan suffering that full car punches. My God! Out of the race for Cosmas Benitez. Million Brulers getting a 5-second time penalty. 2 laps to go. And Curlis couldn't capitalize on that. He was already down at turns 1 and 2. So there's a lot of drivers now down at pit lane who are going to make the most of this. Now, we don't expect too many other drivers to come into the pits at the end of this lap. If we do see drivers coming to the pits at the end of this lap, expect Zakaholi, Holtz, and Ben Allen Lee to come in. We're going to see some drivers try and do a hero run to the checkered flag then. As Holtz drops behind Hidenko. Lima on the back of Celia. On board we go with Ben Allen Lee, who's on his own in 8th place. Around the outside goes Moises Lima, past Thomas Holtz almost. Hyperdrive Racing Advanced, still looking for their first FG Series race win, believe it or not. Celia on the back, using some attack mode and attack charge, going side by side. And she goes up into 5th place, so top 5 currently for the Team Impul. 22 car on the back of the 23 of Zaka Hidenko as we go on to the penultimate lap of this race. And Zakaholi is trying to get to the end with that same set of mediums, and looking at the dash, 30% as he came through the opening chicane. It is going to be nigh impossible for him to get to the end. Curlis behind with Villalobos for company. I don't think Hidenko can make it to the end, let alone Zakaholi. Looking at everyone, if they've got 2 laps next to their name and they're on a set of softs, be worried for their final lap. And you can say the same for Thomas Holtz right now. He's at 4%, 3%. These are the tires that Zakaholi's likely going to have on that final lap. Maybe they'll go a little later because he's got fresh air, but it's not going to be too much as Holtz is going to lose it at 1%. He hits 0 coming through the chicane. There it goes for a title contender there. Ben Allen Lee gets past it, but he's at 9%. So that's going to be a big problem for the British driver. Curlis is closing in on that race lead as well. We go on board with Casanova Cornwell. So he barrels down into turn number 10. But I don't think he's got the tyres to make it to the end of this race either. Curlis closing in on the race leader in Landre Zakaholi. The Albanian driver for Hyperdrive Racing Advanced tried to get them their first race win. He's led some laps today. He's been in the conversation, but rounding the final corner on the penultimate lap, Curlis has something to say. As Harishwa has had contact with Holtz out in front, it's a new race leader. Rainus Curlis on the final lap takes the lead of the Abuja eTrophy. And I think he's going to hold on to that. On board with Million Brulers at the very back of the pack, he's going to meet. Is he going to meet Thomas Holtz? I don't think he will. Silly not having the best exit coming through there. 4% for Landry Zakaholi, by the way, guys. And Hedenko's going to struggle. Haymaker likely going to struggle for Cornwell. Star. Ben Allen Lee having a full car puncture as he comes down into pit lane. Brulez is going to catch Thomas Holtz, who for a man who came into this race with a title to chase, well, that's not a good way to have it end. Just avoided by Brulez, as there go the tyres for Landry Zakaholi. Junior Motorsports played the strategy game perfectly with a 10 car, who's only got a sector and a half to go. Hyperdrive Racing just didn't get it worked out with their 1 car. Juan Villalobos coming up to the back. We go on board with the 18, who could see another podium finish and a brilliant season for the Venezuelan. Almost contact, and that is contact. A 5-second time penalty for the Venezuelan driver. Oh! Big shot! Celia goes airborne! Come on, tell me it's over. It's not. Hedenko facing backwards. The caution's coming out. Zakaholi is out of this race. It's a full car puncture for Haymaker and for Hedenko. But for Rainus Curlis, he comes through the final corner and he will reign over Abuja in the FG Series. Rainus Curlis takes victory in Abuja. And we are green for the other 15 cars left in this race, whose tyres have certainly looked a lot better all weekend. And oh! It's been a long time since we've seen a wall ride. It's back. The wall ride is back in the ERL. Shri Harishwa is out. Actually, Celia is still going to get a podium after her wild ride. I'll be third for her. Looks like we're going to go green again. On board with Silky. Trying to take 6th on the line. I don't know if that's going to happen. And it doesn't. At least not on the line. That will be 6th due to the time penalty, but that was very close. Just look at the timing tower. 1,000th of a second. We've seen closer. Holtz. Oh, no. Brulez is out. Are we calm now, guys? Are we cool? Have we gotten it out of our systems? Okay, good. Oh shoot, Cornwell got points. Look at that wing for Holtz. And your podium. Rainus Curlis debuted in round 3, comes home with a race win in round 8. Some drivers in this league and in the ERL as a whole at this stage still yet to score points, and yet this Latvian becomes the first Latvian race winner in the ERL. Juan Villalobos coming home with a strong 2nd place despite the time penalty, and Hachai Celia 3rd after today's race. As for the rest of your finishes, Gap Stappen 4th, followed by Moises Loma and Silky. Then it's Nick Haymaker, Zaka Hedenko, Gabriel Barton, and Casanova Cornwell. Star, Ben Allen Lee are the rest of your finishers who finished within 70 seconds of the race leader. Okay, I thought Holtz was out of the race, not gonna lie, but no, he did finish. Your non-finishers were Shri Harishwa, Million Brulez, Landry Zakaholi, Cosmas Fadisis, Andre Nesbesny, Tam and Chaos and Light, Takeyoshi Nishimoto, Spiker, Eddie Hart, and Vaskian Tan. So in the driver's standings, Holtz still leads the points from Labarton and Villalobos. I'm sorry, Holtz leads from Labarton and Haymaker. Villalobos is 1 point down on the American. Then it's Celia, Spiker, Zakaholi, and Alan Lee. Moises Lima is 9th from Sri Harishwar and Marianus Kurlis, who's tied on points with Tam Andalay. Then it's Zaka Hidenko, Eddie Hart, Gab Stappen, Star, Takeyoshi Nishimoto, Bastian Tan, Andreas Besny, Silky, Cosmas Rodisis, Casanova Cornwell, Chaos Andalay, and Million Brulers. In the Constructors Championship, heading into round 9, Team Impol lead the way from Red Bull Racing and 2311 Racing, then it's Hyperdrive Racing Advanced, Mana Motorsport, Chip Ganassi, Junior Motorsport, Power Motorsport, Kondo Racing, Trackhouse Racing, Good Heart Racing, and Revolution Racing. So we will see you guys next time then when the Electric Racing League returns.